What's up, pussy? Sorry, I was listening to a video about Austin Rivers feel his biggest regret in life is never playing in front of the fans on the New York Knicks because played for the Knicks, but there was no fans, so he never got to play in front of fans for the Knicks.
That's his biggest regret.
Yeah, that's a reasonable regret. He played for the Knicks. The situation didn't work out, and he played for them during the pandemic. So I'm pretty sure he's from New York. So he got to play in Madison Square Garden when it was empty. So that's his biggest regret. Like he wished he could have played in a packed Madison Square Garden.
This dude's still in the league.
I know, but so far, somebody asked him on an Instagram live, so far, what would you say is your biggest regret in the NBA? And he's just like, I wish I could have played in front of fans in the with the Knicks because he's from New York, So it's basically like you saying oh damn, I played for the Bulls during the pandemic when there was no fans. I wish I could have played for the Bulls when there were fans, So I could have said, so what's up to the homies and shit,
My response would be, I'm going to go sign with the Chicago Bulls. No. I guess I have to be interested, but
yeah, one of my friends, I was explaining to one of my boys, he graduated this past year, and it was one of my friend's birthdays last night. So he drove down from KC. And we were catching up, and he was asking me about my YouTube shit, and I was telling him about you. So we went on YouTube. I was showing him our this channel, and I went over. Yeah, he dropped the sub, but then we went over to Will Upton. I showed him that one, and then I was like, "Yo, if you find any channel with daily, 9 out of 10 it's him." I was like, Lakers daily, Raiders daily. We're going through I was finding all your things. He's we were just laughing because my boy was just this guy literally has an empire.
Yo, I used the same word yesterday. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. But
he was making me die.
I'm not pissed off, but I can't believe I didn't think about this in the this past spring when I was making these channels. But somebody in my Discord, he has I forget, it's a Niners channel, I think, and it's not doing well because, my guess is he posts once a week, and it's probably a bad video. For some reason, these kids don't know why their videos aren't doing bad when they're, not doing anything or posting bad videos, but it's good that they're trying. So instead of asking for the advice, he's like, I think I'm going to change my channel to Niners Daily. I'm like, fuck. Anybody could do that. Imagine all of my channels become big enough where you think of me almost like Kenny for real, and you're like, oh, I wonder if he has a blank channel. Let me look up blank daily. And it's some schlub who makes horrible Washington Wizards videos, and you're thinking, oh, let me go see if Jackson has a Wizards daily channel.
Wait, that's actually awful. Give me 1 second.
This video is sponsored by Aquapana. Most refreshing drink. That was pretty good.
What's up, Mason? But no, I honestly think also, dude, your boy is about to watch First off, I want to say this is you should just spend your day today making every single NBA and NFL channel daily and post one video on there and just claim it. Just make a 30-second video on each one. I am Thunder Daily. I am Bengals Daily.
See, I would, dude. The issue is YouTube limits. First off, they limit how many YouTubes you can have open on your browser. So I'm capped out right now. That's why you don't really see any new channels from me, which you wouldn't know about anyways because they exist. And
I told my friend that.
Yeah,
they're not connected.
So yeah, that's another big thing is I don't want any connection. But yeah, it's you can only, you probably ran into this already. You can only have a couple channels per phone number. So I've had so many people in my family where I've used their phone number for verification because
you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
I need it.
You're fucking fantastic.
So
I don't know why, but the Wizards streams always do well.
We should just title this stream, Let's Talk Washington Wizards for an hour and a half.
I mean, I'm a big Wiz fan, but
So yeah, all of our Wizards streams and videos are doing well, and then I posted a Wizards video last night, and it's got like 100 views, which is the lowest I've had in a while.
I made a Wizards video last night, and it didn't do too well either.
Yeah, it's like what? You got to just give it some time.
Just give it some time, yeah. Though I really fuck with that, like for like a month now, we've been using this new thumbnail, and I think it just looks good. Like the stream one where it just says NBA show and the date, and then it's a player.
Yeah,
it's very basic, but I feel like it gets the message across very well.
Yeah, that's solid.
All right, so let's talk some Kevin Durant real quick before we hop into our previews. It's so mundane that all I look forward to is our previews because there's nothing else really to talk about. But let's hit it. So last night we heard did you talk about in your video that the Wizards were interested in Kevin Durant?
No, I actually did not. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so last night it came out that the Wizards are interested in Kevin Durant. They're more interested in Donovan Mitchell than Kevin Durant, and they're going harder for Donovan Mitchell, which doesn't make sense because Kevin Durant's from PG. And like people forget, like a year or two ago, everyone was talking about that the Wizards were making moves to make sure that they had cap space for Kevin Durant. And then everyone just stopped talking about that.
So could you imagine if they call up Brooklyn and they're like, all right, you know what? Hold on. Let's figure something out. You want Kristaps? You want Kuz? You want Rui? You want
I said trade. I said trade.
Blank? You want Blank?
No.
You want 4 firsts? Yeah, let's do it. Bang.
What I said trade everyone, not name Kristaps Porzingis, Bradley Beal, Monte Morris, Will Barton, and Denny Avdia. Trade the entire rest of the roster and 4 picks.
No, you're gonna have to give me Denny Avdia and Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma.
I think you can do a deal around Kyle Kuzma. I think they will have to, like, obviously me being a biased Wizards fan, I want us to keep Denny Avdia and Corey Kispert. But I know that we're probably going to have to give up Denny Avdia, Corey Kispert, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Gill, Johnny Davis, Daniel Gafford, Isaiah Todd, and a few picks. But if they do this deal, it's because they're going to keep – if Kevin Durant comes, they're keeping Kristaps and Bradley Beal because they want the trio. Do you agree with that?
No, because I think, you can dream all you want. That's why it's a dream. That sounds all fine and dandy in my head for you, but for me, because I'm Brooklyn, because I have a pair of pants that say Brooklyn Nets.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Or sweatpants. I say, no, I'm all set, and I need Kristaps Porzingis in that trade.
The first reason why I say no is because, again, I don't think Kevin Durant's going to say yes to a trade to the Wizards if Kristaps isn't there. I think that team is a contender. If it's Kristaps, KD, and Bradley Beal, it's nothing if it's not. And that's why I think. And the second reason is I don't think Brooklyn wants Kristaps because Brooklyn, if they're trading, they want all the young guys. They don't want a 27-year-old, 26-year-old.
But they're also trying to win with their future. What's up, Risk? In Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is now the future of the Brooklyn Nets, whether people want it or not.
Uh-huh. What makes you say that? I kicked you out. Yeah, fuck you. I'm bigger than you now.
Yep. Ben Simmons is the future of the Brooklyn Nets, clearly because he's the youngest one there of all the superstars that are going to remain once this season is over. This time next year,
I bought a coffee
Ben Simmons
machine.
will be the youngest, most talented player on that roster.
I have faith in Ben Simmons, man, dude. If you watch my 2K, my teams also, I have like Madden 23, and I've been like, I played that till like 2 a.m. last night.
Madden 23 is out.
I got early access. Like I got it a day before.
Dude,
I got it like 4 days early.
shit. Oh, I need to buy that new Xbox.
I do have the new Xbox, sadly. I wanted a PS5, but I had to settle for the new Xbox. I got it like the day it came out too, so like I've had it for like 2 years.
I need Madden, dude.
Yeah, I've been playing it. It's a 6 out of 10, but it's a step in the right direction. It's the best Madden since probably like Madden 13.
I need Madden 13. Hold on, I'll guess it.
Madden 13 still wasn't good. The last good Madden was Madden 12, but Madden 13 was okay.
Madden 12 with Peyton Hillis
That's
on the cover.
That's the last good Madden.
Very weird take. Madden 11 was the best Madden to ever exist.
I agree. Madden 11 was really good, but what I'm saying is Madden 12 is the last good Madden because Madden 12 used to be able to hire former players as defensive coordinators or special team coach.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you can make them your head coach. And then
Can you do that now?
No, you have like auto-generated names.
That's so stupid.
So after 5 years, all the coaches retire, and it's just a bunch of auto-gen named coaches.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. Like, how can't you guys? I know the reason behind it. It's probably because they didn't want to pay for the name image licensing of the coaches.
Man, who's on 13?
Wasn't it Calvin Johnson? Dude, I'm such a nerd.
Calvin Johnson was so freaking cool.
Also, dude, the Lions are assholes. They're like, we'll pay you back the $2 million we didn't pay you if you come work a full day. And he was like, how about no?
Dude, I'm glad I wasn't covering sports when that whole sitch happened. Otherwise, I'd be so pissed off at the Detroit Lions, assumingly, unless
this happened like a year ago.
Unless Calvin's in the wrong.
No, Calvin's not in the wrong. He retired. They withheld his money after he retired. Most teams, if you have like 2-3 million, like Jim Irsay, when Andrew Luck retired, he gave him $20 million as a retirement gift. Because it was his signing bonus for that year. And Andrew Luck was like, do you want that 20 million back? And Jim Irsay said, nah, take it as a retirement gift.
Damn.
Yeah, and the Lions are over here like Calvin Johnson was like, can I get my $2 million? They were like, nah. And then he hit them up like last year when Dan Campbell, and they were like, we want to make our relationship right. And he was like, all right, give me my $2 million. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you your $2 million, but you have to come in and do some office paperwork and work in the office for like 48 hours, and then we'll pay you. And he's like, how about y'all go fuck yourselves?
Yeah, that's stupid.
And he's like, I ain't gonna work for that shit. He's like, I already got that money. I thought you were just gonna do right and like give me the money that you owe me. But like, it's not like he needed the $2 million. You know what I mean?
So yeah, did they think Calvin Johnson is going broke and shit?
No,
and he
no.
needs to come do office work for him.
So Pat McAfee, when Dan Campbell got hired, they were like kind of bringing attention to the fact they hadn't paid it. So the Lions came out and said they would pay him, and then Calvin Johnson was just like, fuck these guys. They said they would pay me, and then I go up to get talk to them. They're like, yeah, you have to work to earn that money. And he's like, I already worked for y'all for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you mean I need to work in the office? You know?
He's right.
So he's like, I don't need the money, because like I'm pretty sure Calvin Johnson's like has investments in marijuana and other like stuff. Like Calvin Johnson is like KD, like real smart money wise. Like they put their money in like real good investments. And
KD smart, or like he's like a G with money.
Yeah, dude. Kevin Durant like 2 weeks ago was on national television promoting his marijuana farm that he owns, and he was smoking weed, or not smoking weed. He said he was high in the interview. They asked him.
Whoa.
He goes, I'm high right now in the interview.
I don't trust pot smokers. That's sick. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, and he owns like a marijuana farm.
I actually had no idea. I'm pretty surprised KD smokes.
Yeah, that's why I like KD so much. Yeah, KD smokes weed and he owns a marijuana
but when did you know this?
I've known this for a year. Like KD's really smart business wise. Like KD does like Calvin Johnson. They do those like business deals that you don't hear about till like real late. He's not like LeBron. You know, like when LeBron does any business deal, it literally gets like so much media hype, even though if it could be like the shittiest thing ever. And then while KD is like super low key about his dealings, like he doesn't really like putting him as the face. Like LeBron always smacks his face on all like his brands. KD is like, nah, let the product speak for itself, which I think is really respectable by KD. He's like, I'll invest, but I'm not going to go around and make the product a KD product. I want the product to speak for itself. And then people find out, oh, KD backed this.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the right way to go about it.
There's that company that I wanted to. I don't know, what would you do if this happened? This like that betting company came to me and they were like, I turned it down because of like Steve Will Do It just got his YouTube shut down. I just don't like promoting gambling because gambling is not legal in all states. I don't know the laws to it. I don't know any of that to it. But it's like backed by Kevin Durant. Like whatever brand it was, Kevin Durant's an investor.
What did Steve Will Do It get demonetized? I found all of Kevin Durant's brands.
I think he got demonetized because he was in South America promoting the Nelk's new betting app that they have.
Oh, it's probably just they didn't go through. The problem is like, first off, my girlfriend, whenever we get into this shit, my girlfriend's going to be a law student. So whenever we do that shit, we're going to have her read contracts. And because, like you said, like whenever you sign something, those motherfuckers don't read those contracts, I bet. Like half the time, they just saw the money and they just didn't go into
KD?
No, Steve Will Do It. Like you said, his money, his channel.
I think it's their brand though. Like Steak. It's like called like Steak. I think it's a Nelk associated brand.
Yeah, I have no idea. But here, check this out. So I found all the Kevin Durant brands. Dude, Weed Maps.
He's in Weed Maps, really? That's
yeah. So he owns part of Alaska Airlines, Panini America, like the sports cards, Weed Maps. He owns he has a deal with Nike. I guess he has something with Alaska Air Group, NBA 2K, Beats, American Family Air Insurance, the BBVA, like that national Spanish bank that's like all over soccer teams. You know, Sparkling Ice, Gatorade, Sonic drive-ins, the fast food, Sprint, and Google. And then personal investments, he owns a mansion, and then he sold the place for 12.15. He bought a mansion for 5.9. So then he put the mansion on rent and then he put it for sale. So he was smart. He was making money off of rent. He owns a car collection of $4 million. And he owns the 8th most expensive car collection amongst professional athletes, only topped by, Messi has more. Yeah. Damn. So, and yeah, it looks like he's smart about the cars he buys too. Because people don't realize when you buy cars, you got to buy cars that you have to resell. Like, and also you can't buy Ferraris. You have to be accepted to buy a Ferrari.
What?
Like half the people you see driving Ferraris are either renting those Ferraris or bought those from someone who's been banned and then themselves got banned from Ferrari. Like,
jeez.
So like, because you have to hit up Ferrari and be like, I'm interested in a Ferrari, and they'll be like, okay, we'll hit you back up. Then they're gonna go do a background check, make sure you're like cool, like basically you are Ferrari like quality customer. Then before you even buy the car, I think you have to go spend 2 weeks in Italy where they teach you how to drive a Ferrari at the Ferrari headquarters on their track, because they're like, you can't own a Ferrari if you're going to just stall out. So they teach you how to drive a Ferrari perfectly before you even get to own the Ferrari. And then when you own the Ferrari, I think you cannot sell the Ferrari for 5 years. If you sell the Ferrari, you have to ask them to sell it. You cannot paint the Ferrari any other color without their permission. I think there's only like 3 colors you can paint a Ferrari. And there's like a bunch of rules with Ferraris. That's why I want a Ferrari. If you own a Ferrari, that's ultimate class. That's why all these fucks drive Lamborghinis. Like Lamborghinis, like the poor rich person car. They're like, oh, you couldn't get a Ferrari, so you drive a Lamborghini, loser.
If I was like, super rich, why don't I still want a Ferrari, not because I want to resale it one day.
I want a 1988 Testarossa red Ferrari, and I'm gonna just keep that all the time.
Can't I just buy a Ferrari and keep it forever? Like, do I have to?
Yeah.
Buy
No.
cars that I
You don't.
can
No.
sell?
You don't have to sell. You don't have to sell it. It's just that if there's a lot of people who buy Ferraris for it to gain value and then resell it. But like if you want like my dad, he owned a import and exportation car company back in the 80s where like at one point they were shipping out 500 to 600 cars a year to like Europe and Argentina, and he would like have rich customers be like, I want a 1972 Cadillac Eldorado. So my dad would have to drive like all around the southern states and go find him like a Cadillac Eldorado or like a Rolls Royce Corniche with light blue interior. So like my dad has a bunch of pictures of him in like Rolls Royces and Ferraris because when he first moved to the States, he didn't own a car. They had like 500 cars, and you can't just leave these cars sit in a warehouse. So my dad they would just drive a new Ferrari, Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Aston Martin every week, like, and like barely spoke English, and he would just pick up girls like that. Because you'd just be in like a Ferrari in Miami, and you just like pull up to a light, see a hot girl, and like this is the 80s. It's not really sketch, you know. It'd be like, you want to hop in the Rolls Royce, you know, like, and then you're just trying. I'll pull up a picture. Ask my dad to send me. They're pretty sick.
I want to live in the 80s.
My dad's got badass stories. That's another thing. I want to live in Miami, like where like my dad used to live, like Key Biscayne. But let's talk about
Vice City.
Yeah. We'll do Memphis Grizzlies to start it off. Dude, I bought a coffee machine today. It doesn't come till I have to go pick it up because I did, the pickup orders because I don't. And but this morning I had café con leche. So I'm
Coffee
somewhat.
with milk.
Yeah, café con leche. Yeah, but like you make it different. You like heat up a cup of milk and then you use instant coffee.
Is that like if you instant coffee sounds like
Have you the powder instant coffee?
sounds like grimy.
So that I think instant coffee is like a very like foreign thing because like in Argentina that's like if you're not drinking coffee the normal way, just like the stereotypical way through a French press, you drink instant coffee either with milk or with water. It's just powdered coffee that you throw in and you stir it and it turns into coffee. It doesn't taste the best, but in water, but with milk, oh, it's like you're drinking creamy coffee. Like my girlfriend never had café con leche, and then I gave it to her, and it's like her favorite nighttime drink.
Would you rather like drink normal coffee or coffee con leche?
In the mornings, I'd rather drink coffee. But if I want like a pick me up at night, but I don't want a cup of coffee, I'd rather have a café con leche, and because it's not as strong, Like I genuinely like the taste of coffee. Are you like that or no?
I don't mind it at all.
Like I'm the type of person who drinks coffee as black as the moonless night sky. God damn.
Yeah, I'm not quite there. But
You don't drink it black?
No.
What, you put cream and sugar in yours?
I put half and half, yeah.
Oh, you're gross, bro. My shit's black.
What's wrong with half that?
First off, you're ruining the coffee. Coffee, I think it's all like in America. Like America's like the only country that really puts creamer in their coffee. Like, and maybe Canada.
That does make sense.
Like you go into any country in Europe and America and think that they don't even put milk out. You get your cup of coffee, and if you ask them for milk, they'd be like, "What?" Like there's no milk anywhere. Like the most I've ever seen in other countries people put in their coffee is a splash of sugar, and they don't even and it's brown sugar everybody uses. But let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies.
Kenny Lofton Jr. is so cool.
That
guy's so cool. There's that mix of him cooking it up in the summer league, and then it'll like pan or cut to draw, and he's like loving it. Ooh, a cheeseburger sounds good. I'm loving it.
You ready to see Kenneth Lofton in a movie?
As a joke, yeah.
I mean, this isn't Kenneth Lofton.
What movie is that from?
Shark Tales.
Tale?
Yes. Are you ready? You see this? Just tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's close, I guess.
It's pretty fucking close, isn't it? Someone's gonna say I'm an asshole. So what I find, I've said this before, what I find interesting about this roster is Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to miss the first months of, 2 or 3 months of the season with that stress fracture, which will, I think, Santi Aldama, Xavier Tillman, Jake LaRavia, and I guess Brandon Clark and Kelly and Tilly are all going to have the opportunity, and even David Roddy, to play some, I guess you could say the power forward and center position, because I feel like they're also going to kind of phase out Steven Adams depending on the matchup. Like, I don't think Steven Adams will play as much.
Makes sense.
Okay, let me hear your thoughts on this team. What's your starting lineup?
Kenny Lofton.
I don't think they're going to play Kenny Lofton. He's on a two-way. They have Jake LaRavia, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, and Santi Aldama. Multiple first-round picks from previous seasons. Kenny Lofton's undrafted. Again, injuries would have to happen for Lofton to play.
He'll work his way into the rotation. What's my starting lineup? Oh,
without Jaren Jackson Jr. because he's hurt.
Oh, yeah, I guess Jod, Bain, Brooks, probably.
I think they were going to try out Aldama or Brandon Clark, but I think they'd rather try out Aldama over Clark, because if you put Clark out there, Adams and Clark both can't shoot.
I'm a little different. I'd probably put in Zaire Williams and Brandon Clark at the 5. Just go extremely small. I don't want to watch Steven Adams play basketball.
I think whenever they face teams like a Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic or Rudy Gobert, that's the nights that Steven Adams will start. But when they face a team like the Clippers maybe, or a team like the Dallas Mavericks, or a team like the Suns, when they take DeAndre Ayton off the floor, I could see them, starting Brandon Clark while Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. I just think they really need to check out Santi Aldama. He can shoot it. I mean, he was dominating in the summer league. He's 226 pounds. He's almost 7 foot. He can hit shots from all over the floor. He can pass. He can shoot. I just think I love Brandon Clark, but there's no jump shot there. Xavier Tillman, they've kind of phased him out. I want to hear, Grizzlies fans, what are your thoughts on Xavier Tillman? He looked really good his rookie year, but since then, not much. And then there's Jake LaRavia, who's a guy who can do a little bit of everything analytically. If you're that type of team that's an analytically driven, Jake LaRavia is perfect, but he kind of struggled in the summer league, and that's why I think Santi should start. They gave him he was the first round pick a year ago.
I wish this team did something more for me. They're probably going to play super deep again. You got guys like John Conchar and LaRavia and Tillman getting consistent play, even if it's 10-15 a night. I don't know. I really don't see this season. Just comes down completely to Triple J to me.
When I look at this team, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, if you don't count Jaren Jackson Jr. and Danny Green, because Danny Green, if they keep him on the roster, he won't be able to play till the end of the year because he's recovering from the torn ACL, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is probably going to be out till December or January with that stress fracture. So they're 7 or 8 guys deep only if you don't count any of the rookies or the young, the super young guys. So they're only 7 or 8 deep with the injuries. That's why I think Santi Aldama and like Zaire Williams need to play, because I think Xavier Tillman and Kelly and Tilly are more depth guys than actual players at this point. They would have played these two last year more.
I think Tillman, Zaire especially, Jake, they'll all get playing time and it'll all be consistent. I don't know how they bundle all their minutes every night, but they do a good job of it. And I think team-wise, they're still pretty good. I think they're way ahead of schedule. Like, I think they'll have a huge step back season, but it won't be a step back in the grand scheme of things because I don't think they had any business doing what they did last season. I think you give the Memphis Grizzlies that season 10 times. I think 9 out of 10 times that season does not happen the way it did. And so I think they'll probably go back to probably 5 or 6 to me in the West.
You think they'll fall?
And yeah, they'll get booted in the first round. And then hopefully they decide to trade some type of a package deal where.
Well, I could see during the season where they package Danny Green and like Dylan Brooks for somebody, or Danny Green and Steven Adams.
Yeah. What sucks is like Brooks and Bain are huge for him. Like Brooks is good, really solid two-way basketball player.
He's a bit inefficient. And I think that's why they're trying to phase Dylan Brooks, whose contract is expiring, out for Zaire Williams or another guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're definitely hoping Zaire can like
replace.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. Replace right away. And if they could get rid of Dylan Brooks, yeah.
And then the same thing, I believe, with Steven Adams. Steven Adams' contract is expiring, so I think it's in their best interest to start figuring out if, Aldama, Clark, Tillman, Laravia, Lofton, Roddy, if they can replace Steven Adams. Like, I think everyone loves Steven Adams, but they couldn't play him most games in the playoffs. So I think he's going to be a guy who only plays situationally. And they're going to, especially with the Jaren Jackson Jr., they'll take I think during the regular season, they'll take a hit record-wise because they won't be fully healthy for a while. But that could also not happen if I'm very high on Aldama. I thought he was the steal of the draft. And the Jaren Jackson Jr. injury could be a blessing in disguise because, again, it'll open up the minutes for how many guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys will now be competing to make up for the Jaren Jackson Jr. minutes, which is, people don't realize, last year Jaren Jackson Jr. played 27.3 minutes, which is absurd. Jaren Jackson Jr. has never averaged more than 30 minutes a night. So 27 minutes between 70 guys. So obviously not all 7 of those guys are going to play, but that's why I have my money on Aldama, Clark, and Tillman to be the 3 guys who get the most playing time. And if any of the rookies, I think Laravia will be the one because he was the 19th overall pick.
Yeah, so I think, I just have a feeling that all their young guys, like, I think Jake, Kennedy, Vincent, I just think like these guys are just going to produce immediately just because it's the Memphis Grizzlies. My thing with I don't think like Jaren, I mean Jaren almost established himself as like the best defensive playoff or one of the best defensive.
But he can't stay healthy. It's always been a theme of his.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's never got it. He hasn't returned to the 3-point shooter he was the first 2 seasons.
I don't even know if he can't stay healthy. He played 78 games this past year. That's pretty healthy to me.
And now he's hurt.
What?
And then he, as soon as the season ended, he announced.
Yeah, he gets hurt, and then the year before that, he played 11
games. So. Before that, he played 57. Before that, he played 58.
That's hovering right around. That's okay to me. Like as long as you don't do that for 4 straight years. But
I mean, he's only 23. He's going into year 5, and he's about to be turned 23 in 3
he's
weeks.
One of the most talented young players at his position. So I think it's just more so getting more pieces there, another star there. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know if it'll be in free agency, but I don't think Steven Adams or Dylan Brooks. I think you'd have to get rid of Bane and
Nah,
Zaire to get some type of star that's going to get you a championship. I don't think there's any way, shape, or form Memphis can win a championship right now.
I don't know if they can make a championship, but I think they can continue where they were and what they made to the second round last year.
Mhm.
I think they can make it to the second round again.
You shouldn't have gotten out of the first round, but that's my opinion.
Who they beat? The T-Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That T-Wolves, D-Lo threw that away.
D'Lo averaged like 7 points a game on like 20% shooting. They
D-Lo threw
literally
that.
handed it over.
Yeah, handed that over. We were literally playing Jordan McLaughlin, an undrafted free agent from like 2 years ago, as our point guard. We benched D'Lo. I mean, we tried to trade D'Lo, and everyone was like, "We're good." Now let's go over who else did we have on the list. We had the Grizzlies. We had the Celtics. I also realized I did not play the music. What's up, Aaron? This team looks like small compared to the Grizzlies, like in the sense that like
they are pretty small.
6, 7, 10.
They're not ginormous by any means.
13. They're 14 players deep.
Tice, where the hell did Tice go? Is he still free agent?
Tice? Yeah, they're not gonna. Tice, they traded him to the Pacers for Brogdon.
When did that? Oh, that was. He was in that trade.
Yeah.
Wow, what a genius move! Boston's good. Growing up in South Philly, I was never really a big Celtics fan, but I'll try and be nice to him. Just kidding. They're really good. I mean, they're really talented right now.
I think this team's good. Like their problem, and this is what I've talked to is Celtics. You know, people who cover the Celtics. Their problem was they had no scoring off the bench. Okay, and they still have the same starting lineup of Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams. You're 5 deep right there. Now you add in Derek White off the bench. Okay, Peyton Pritchard still off the bench. Right there, you're still 7 deep. Grant Williams off the bench. You're still 8 deep. Now you add in Brogdon and Danilo Gallinari. You're 10 guys deep. You're 10 guys deep now. You're 10 guys deep. Most teams want to be 8 deep. This team is 10 deep. And yes, I know it's not pretty after Gallinari and Brogdon because then it's Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, you know, my Fondue, Kevin Gelly, JD Davison, you know, and that's pretty much it behind them. Not very pretty. And they still have 1 roster spot open, but they have a bunch of other guys on training camp deals that aren't listed here. Like Bruno Caboclo is on a training camp deal. They have one. I want Bruno to make this team.
Bruno Caboclo.
Yeah, Caboclo. Dude, but Bruno Caboclo would be so funny. He's wearing 55. Okay. And imagine if Bruno made this roster and had like a comeback and you just see Bruno come off the bench for the Celtics. How funny would that be? You don't care.
Do anything for me. I don't know. I think this team saying who is this saying? Celtics fans telling you this that they didn't win it all because of their bench.
Yeah, they had no scoring. They had no scoring off the bench.
That's an excuse, is what we call that here in Chicago.
So you're telling me if they wouldn't have won the championship if they had Neil Gallinari and Brogdon off the bench?
So are you telling me that Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Daniel Tice, Grant Williams?
Yeah, they couldn't score. Only Grant Williams.
That's not enough.
Score.
If that
wasn't enough.
I need to hand you in order for it to be enough. If you
I need
can't
Gallinari
win,
and Brogdon.
If you can't win with Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams
They weren't
in an
even playing
8-man
them.
rotation.
They had a 7-man rotation. They were literally only
Even more so, you got no bench scoring because it doesn't even matter. You're not even playing any of these bench.
That's why
dudes.
they
Derek White
added.
choked.
Now they are 9 deep.
Maybe trade for a non-choke artist. I remember us talking about this before it happened. And that way you don't need more. You already have your scoring off the bench.
Imagine
if your
if you
backup point
could've-
guard didn't suck cock in the playoffs.
I mean, listen. If you could have benched Smart and and White, who couldn't make a shot, for Brogdon and Payne Pritchard, maybe they would have had more shot creation and more shooting. And then what if you could have benched Tatum or Brown for Gallinari, or you could have benched Williams, because Horford was the only guy making fucking shots for them. Okay, so they were playing only a 7-man rotation in the playoffs. Now you add Gallinari and Brogdon. That's now a 9-man rotation off the bench during the playoffs. That team has 2 guys in Danilo Gallinari and Malcolm Brogdon who could be guys similar to Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson of 2 years ago, when Jordan Clarkson and Joe Ingles were neck and neck on the same team competing for the 6th man of the year, and Jordan Clarkson won it. And I think Gallinari and Brogdon could be similar to Ingles and Clarkson from 2 years ago, where they're both competing for the 6th man of the year trophy.
Yeah, Gallinari, Brogdon are really solid basketball players, but they had plenty. My take. If the Celtics had Lonzo Ball last year, they win the championship. And
Okay, so
Smart.
So what's the difference between having Brogdon and Gallinari, Derek White?
Brogdon, all you're getting from Brogdon is what you hoped from White. If I'm Derek White and I'm a 13.5 point per game scorer with 4 rebounds and 5 assists, but I'm shooting 36% in the playoffs, I'm completely and utterly worthless. So I don't even think that a move like that was needed to make, but they were able to finesse a fatty from the Pacers, because who's running the Pacers right now? Do we have an answer to that? Who's running the Indiana Pacers right now?
Kevin Pritchard.
He's doing a good job. Tyrese Halley?
That was a good deal, but I feel like there's certain things that Pacers fans, I think, are pissed off. I think at this point, Pacers fans are pissed at Kevin Pritchard, and they're like, please, Kevin, just trade Miles Turner. You've been saying you're going to trade Miles Turner for 4 years, and you just won't.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Pacer fans are are kind of mad that how gun shy Kevin Pritchard is sometimes. Don't just keep dangling the same guy as trade bait and just not trade him.
Well, he just traded away Sabonis for Tyrese Halliburton, which was one phenomenal finesse of a trade. Now you have Benedict Mathurin. I don't think Miles Turner's still young as hell. He's still an able body. I don't understand the obsession with getting rid of him. I guess it makes more sense because you traded away Sabonis.
And let's see Isaiah Jackson and Goga for a full season.
I'd love to see both those guys. Goga
and Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, even more so. He's a beast. Goga.
Why was he?
Goga's got that chip on his shoulder because of that Zion move when they got drafted. But as far as Boston's concerned, yeah, they're still the best team in the East until further notice. And they already had a championship-level roster, but now you have even more so a championship-level roster, and it's going to come down to 2 things. And those 2 things are Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And if they can't propel their team to the championship, then that's how that works. But if they do, then they do. I mean, that's, to me, what it comes down to is their 2 superstars. All those guys are nice. Yeah, Al Horford, only guy who was making shots. That's not – Al Horford's done. Sorry.
Yeah, Al Horford. That's why I also think Danilo Gallinari is going to play a lot more minutes than people think, because I think Al Horford's only going to play 20 to 25 minutes a night, and we're going to see Al Horford, because he's playing power forward and Rob Williams the center. A lot of times I think Al Horford will be subbed out for Danilo Gallinari or Grant Williams.
Yeah. This team is way too small, I'll say that.
I think they're embracing the spacing, the space ball.
Your tallest player
is Luke Cornett.
Yeah, but as a former Chicago Bull, I know how much Luke Cornett's about to play. Your tallest guy is Danilo Gallinari with What's his defensive rating?
Shut the fuck up. It's Bruno
Caboclo.
Caboclo. Bruno Caboclo is their tallest player, and Bruno Caboclo is going to shock the world, win Most Improved Player of the Year. He's going to come in, play 15 minutes a night, average 2 blocks a game, a steal a game, 5 rebounds, 5 points, and 2 assists. Okay.
Yeah, if he can give me a slim 5 with Capicola, provolone, and salami, that works for me. But as far as what you just said, no way. I'll take the under on that. I hope it happens. That would be cool. But
how mad would you be if Bruno came in and Bruno was just actually putting up numbers?
I'd be thrilled for him. I'm not anti-Bruno. I'm not anti-Capicola. I'm just more of a salami guy. But that doesn't mean that they can't coexist. They can't mingle. Or sometimes I'm feeling Capicola.
You know where I refuse to order sandwiches from? I used to love them.
Jimmy John's,
I hate Jimmy John's. First off, yes, I hate Jimmy John's. I hate Jimmy John's.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
You love Jimmy John's, don't you? You love Jimmy John's.
I absolutely love Jimmy John's.
I fucking hate the smell of Jimmy John's. No, Subway. Fuck Subway. The only thing I like from Subway is their bread.
You've probably never seen Happy Gilmore then.
I've seen Happy Gilmore plenty of times.
Huh.
Subway's just gone downhill. Go to a local sandwich shop. Support local businesses. You live in Chicago.
In Chicago, trust me, where I lived, there were no sandwich shops. But I lived near a really grimy Subway, and that's the Subway we would go to. And I went to Subway almost every day for several weeks to get a plain salami sandwich for dinner on a Friday night because I was about to grind for hours on hours on hours. And I'd save the chips for later when I got hungry and high, and I'd get a Coca-Cola and maybe mix it with some rum and have a nice little Friday night.
I hate soda. That's a lie. I love soda, but I've been trying to just stop drinking soda.
It's a good call.
Yeah. I only try to drink if I do drink soda, it's like Sprite only or like Fanta.
Sprite. Jesus Christ. I don't understand people who like Sprite as like their favorite drink. My old roommate was like that too. Like I bet you his favorite pop is Sprite.
If I had to say favorite pop, it would either be like you say pop. I can't stand that soda, but Fresca's up there. Fresca.
Ooh,
Fresca's a good.
I've heard that in a long time.
I think if you had to say like Cyril, what's one drink besides water that's a soda you had to choose for the rest of your life? I think I could drink Frescas for the rest of my life.
You ever have Orangina?
Maybe an Orangina or a Limonada.
It's like a Fresca to me is like a more like diluted Orangina.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I don't know if I would choose Fresca or if are those those Italian sodas or are those considered Italian sparkling waters?
What?
The Pellegrino Orangina
Italian sparkling water.
But the Pelli's make Oranginas and Lemonatas. Are those considered sodas or are those considered sparkling? Are they Italian soda? I
consider it a sparkling soda.
So it's a soda?
A sparkling soda. I would say Orangina is
a soda or more closer to seltzer?
Well, it's more closer to seltzer, but as far as
I feel like it's more of a soda.
Really? I think it's either way. No matter what I feel, I think it's a sparkling soda. Is my guess. You did say Fanta.
Fanta. Yeah, well, is that not how you say it? It's Fanta.
It's Fanta, dork.
Dude, my girlfriend always makes fun of me. I think it's just because I'm foreign, and that's how foreign people say it. Fanta. Let me get a Fanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how my parents say it, and they're both foreign as fuck. They're fresh off the boat. And like, let me get a Fanta. Yeah, my girlfriend, every time, whenever I say Fanta, she's like, Fanta. I'm like, Fanta. I get rated on how I pronounce stuff sometimes. But also, dude, listen to this. AC Milan is now called AX Armani Exchange Milan.
What does that even mean?
So professional teams in Europe.
Oh, what? It's on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, professional teams in Europe have been selling the sponsorship rights to their. Oh, this isn't AC Milan. This is Olimpia Milan, but they call themselves now AX Armani Exchange Milan
Why?
because they sold the sponsorship rights to their team.
That sounds like the Los Angeles Crypto.com
Lakers. That's what it would be if America. That's what every team outside the United States does.
I hate that with a burning passion.
Watch the WNBA do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Bill Burr said it. Have you seen Bill Burr was so right with the WNBA? He's like, feminists and women have failed the WNBA. It's a male subsidized league and you don't show up. He's like, if you supported the WNBA the same way you support a fat chick's body image, the WNBA will be a fucking hit.
That is true.
I died at that. He's like, you guys failed it. They're like, all you feminists, if you guys, just a fraction of you went to every WNBA game, they sell out every game, but you don't. He's like, I'm not. True. He's like, I'm not watching the WNBA. I don't give a fuck. He's like, but you guys are calling me the sexist. He's like, y'all aren't watching it. Y'all aren't watching the games either. You failed the league. I didn't fail the league. It's a male subsidized league. Like, women aren't going. I was dying.
There was sideline sources.
Yeah.
There's like a compilation of like the top 10 women dunks of the last decade or something.
I bet you there's only 10 of them.
There were 10 of them. The comments were way too mean, but I would say, like, it was like, all these girls would smoke you. Like, yeah, I mean, who knows? That's not what we're here for. We're here to evaluate these dunks.
I will fully say there are so many girls who could beat me at basketball, but I bet you there's a certain amount of D1 basketball players that I could probably keep up with, but there's probably more that could beat me. You know what I mean? Anyone who's going to be any female basketball player that's taller than me, probably going to beat me in basketball. But, I feel like if I'm the same height or if I'm taller than those female basketball players, I would have a bit of an advantage. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of smaller basketball players who could probably beat me that are females, but there's also a few that I could probably beat.
Like, if I'm
take a 5'6" point guard, I'm probably going to be blocking her shit.
That's what I'm saying is, like, give me maybe like the worst player on the worst team,
like D1 teams. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who's like 5'2".
Well, I told you that guys, D1 women basketball teams practice against like guys. They don't practice against women.
I feel like for the most part that like makes some sense, but I think at the end of the day,
it does make sense because guys who played high school basketball are probably just as good as women who play D1 basketball.
I just think I think that's just.
Well, you have to try out. Not anyone.
That really only helps out the girls. I don't think the guys win in that in any way.
Oh, no. I mean, these are guys who aren't college athletes. I mean, they're like registered, but they're just practice players.
Oh, so like they're practice squad almost?
Yeah, it's a practice squad. Like, I've tried to go on it, but they've never responded to me. Usually, like, you have to be connected, and then you have to be either have played AAU or varsity basketball. Like, you have to be a competent, like, actual like basketball player, and then like you play the women team. You get all the gear, you get practice gear, you get shoes and shit. Yeah. And you have to get drug tested. That's another reason why I don't want to do it. You're like an actual NCAA athlete, but you're a practice player.
Yeah, that's what my roommate was like in football.
Well, he was a football he was a football practice player.
Yeah, he was a walk-on.
Oh, so he was an actual player. My boy,
he was only practice squad.
Fuck KU. Also, my boy, he could have gone to like Dartmouth and a bunch of other D1 schools, but he chose KU because he got burnt out of basketball, and he got an academic scholarship here. But he sent like his mixtape to all the coaches and like things saying like, "Hey, could I walk on?" Didn't respond. Didn't even like hit him up or anything. Just ignored it. And he played like a few of the guys on our team in high school and beat them. He's like, I'm just as good as a few of the like 4 or 5 star recruits on this team. Like, we played each other in high school in Texas.
So
like
all the sports are politics.
That's what he always said. He's like, you have to understand sports is all politics. Like, you have to know people. Because I told you the story that his mom bumped into the assistant coach of his high school basketball team, and his the assistant coach came up and she's like, goes, I need to tell you something. She's like, what? I'm so sorry. I wish I could have done something before. He's like, when your son was a senior in high school, he had so many more colleges interested in him, and the coach was black and my friend was white, and he went to like kind of a ghetto school, and the coach was racist towards white people. So whenever coaches would come, because he was the best player on the team, and scouts and coaches would come, they would ask about him, and the coach would be like, nah, he's not as good as the black kids on the team. And like the assistant coach said, like the coach like made him lose so many scholarships that he could have possibly gotten.
Damn.
Because the coach was like racist to white people. And like because he went to like, he was a white kid in like a ghetto school, and he was like the best player. He was like saying the two black kids who weren't as good as him were better, and like when they weren't, and they didn't even go, like they didn't even get D1 offers, when my friend had like Dartmouth, Central Arkansas, and like a bunch of other like schools. Is that fucked up?
It's not ideal.
It just like shows how politics are, like literally. So, but like, suppose the assistant coach said like whenever coaches would come, the head coach would like talk shit on Hunter and say like he isn't worth your time and shit like that. Jeez. Is that fucked up? Like just fucking with a kid's like dream.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for a lot of these, not necessarily high school hires, but like just in general. I don't know, like putting a lot of faith in just like if I had a kid who was really good at basketball,
regardless of skin color, you want him to do well, right?
Well, obviously. I'm not a judge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a racist douchebag. No matter what race my kid is, I want him to be in a good position if he plays basketball. Like I would want him to be at like getting proper training or like at the proper school.
But Alex Caruso, I'm pretty sure, said that was a problem why Alex Caruso wasn't ranked as high as his rank. I swear to God, I think there's an article Alex Caruso said the reason why he wasn't as highly recruited or wasn't drafted was because he was white. He was like, people just discredited me my whole life because I was a white basketball player. And he's like, coaches never gave me a shot because I was white and shit like that. Like, it might not be Caruso, might be another white basketball player, but I remember a white basketball player a few years ago saying like the reason he went undrafted, reason he was unranked, and why people were like shocked with his athleticism. It might be Pat Connaughton, who played for Notre Dame, but it's basically like the guy was saying, it's like, because I was white, he's like, my coaches all my life were black, and they always put like, said I wasn't as good as the other players on my team. And I think he was just insinuating that like they were putting on all the black kids in front of him. Is that crazy?
Yeah, Pat Connaughton's really good.
Pat Connaughton and Caruso both were good, and I think Pat might have been drafted. I think Caruso went undrafted, right?
Caruso going undrafted?
I thought it was
vice versa, but
I'm pretty sure Caruso. Yeah, Caruso went undrafted out of. I'm pretty sure it was Caruso because Caruso went undrafted out of Texas A&M, and he was, I'm pretty sure, like not even like ranked, or was low, like very low ranked, and he played all 4 years at Texas A&M and was more of a defensive player. Isn't that just crazy to think about? Just like how like on both sides of it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this team is going to be dog shit. Because, but at least now that they have a direction. I don't know why Derek Favors or Mike Muscala, I guess they're still on the team to be the adults in the room. But, Shea looked amazing last year at times. They got J-Dub from Santa Clara and Jay Will from Arkansas. Chet. At least we have an idea what this team's trying to do. They're trying to be fucking huge. This team's like massive.
You think so?
Yeah, like look at it. Guess who's their shortest guy on their team? 6'5". They don't have anyone shorter than fucking 6'5". Everyone's 6'5" and taller.
Trey Man's got that dog in him.
I love Trey Man. I love Teo Maledon, who was like mentored and developed by Tony Parker, but he's been kind of a bust. But that's what I'm saying. Their point guards all 6'5" and above. Then they got themselves Josh Giddey and Shea. They still have Lindy Waters, who's a freaking sniper. Usman Dang, Kenrick Williams, Aaron Wiggins looks like a Swiss Army knife. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, undersized center. Darius Baisley looks like a two-way guy. Then Poku, I don't really know what to expect with Poku. I've sold my stock in Poku. I'm done. I don't believe in Poku anymore. I've sold my stock. You can buy it. It's out there. If anybody wants to buy some stock in Poku, go for it. I'm done. I've given up on Poku because, yes, I know somebody's going to be like, well, in 19 games post All-Star break, he averaged 12.5 points on 43.3% from the field and 31% from three, averaged 7.5 rebounds and 4.5 assists, a block and a steal a game. Yes, you looked good in 19 games, but I think both years, full seasons, Poku's been ass at times. Like, horrible. But this year he did shoot almost 41% from the field, but he still can't hit the three-point shot regularly. I don't know. What do you think of this team? I just think I don't even know who's the first. What's the starting lineup? What's the first 8 guys off the first 8, the 8-man rotation or the 10-man rotation? I mean, also, did you know they were like basically a top 15? I think they were top 15 in defense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, they got Lou Dort listed as a point guard on here.
17th best defensive team in the league last year. Is that crazy?
Hell yeah.
So this team can't play defense. They just can't score.
This team's probably 2 years away.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, it'll be interesting. I think right now what I would do if I was Oklahoma is I'd do one final evaluation season. One final. All right, Theo. All right, Trey. What you got for me? Shea's going to do his thing, as he always does. But I'm focused on keeping Shea in Oklahoma. Lou Dort, didn't they just re-sign him?
Yeah, they just re-signed Lou Dort to a big old deal.
He's nice. He's nice with it. Jalen Williams, very enticing prospect out of Santa Clara. Josh Giddey, give him another year. Give him another year to continue to progress and develop because Giddey up, he's ready to go. Usman Dang, another very enticing prospect, actually. He's a ginormous kid. You have Aaron Wiggins, Kenrick Williams. I don't even like JRE. Those guys don't do as much for me as Darius Baisley does. I think Baisley, isn't he out of Florida? He's really cool. I picked him up on fantasy last season. He was really nice for me. You got your old dudes. Jalen Williams, pretty cool prospect from Arkansas. He's another huge boy as well. And then Poku, I'm definitely not giving up. I think, especially when you're coming overseas, I think it definitely takes some time to acclimate. And Chet Holmgren to me is, I don't even know if I can predict Chet's stats this upcoming year. I'll probably go 21 and 12, 2 blocks a game. I think Chet, I don't know if I want to say this quite yet, but I think Chet actually pretty easily wins Rookie of the Year. I don't think it will be close. I don't think it'll be close.
Paolo Banchero.
Someone will humble Paolo and he'll go through a slump. I don't think Chet slumps. I think a Chet slump and a Paolo slump will be completely different. A rookie slump. So being 7-1 helps. We'll see how Chet's defense is. It was pretty interesting to see him get moused several times in Summer League, specifically by Kenneth Lofton. But he'll put on the weight. And not in a rush right now. So give him another year. You have your 3 Supermax slots. Or if you don't, it's all good. You'll have 2. And just keep evaluating and kind of decide heading into this offseason, all right, if we're going to make a big time move, is it going to be through a trade? Who are we trading? Who are we getting? If it's free agency, who are we getting? What are we paying them? So they're in a really good spot. You have a lot of options you can do.
I want to say Euphoria is not a good show, but first off,
it's not.
like I don't think Euphoria is at all a good show. I've seen it, and like I've done all the drugs they've done in there, and I think they don't portray drugs correctly. They make it seem too artistic, and like, you know what I mean. And I don't know. I just don't think it's a good show. It's stupid.
You just started watching it or something?
No, I've seen it, but I saw something on my phone. But I just want to say Euphoria is for people who like Euphoria, don't do drugs or have never done drugs in their life and want to see what it's like and be able to. Huh?
Could you imagine what was that scene where she like, what does she do, acid or she does something and she like gets on the carousel horse and like,
oh, they do Molly. That's so fake. They do Molly.
Yeah, Molly.
Then Molly, and
like
then and then the girl has an orgasm. Okay, if anyone's done Molly before, yes, you get horny on Molly, but you don't get so horny that you're gonna fuck the horse on a merry-go-round in front of everyone. That's not happening. That's not happening. That's honestly
100%.
that scene is part of the reason why I stopped watching the show, because I was already having my like hesitance, because on the first episode they make her do acid and they go to this party. I'm like, what high school party is everyone just doing drugs like this? like this is
tabs casually.
Yeah, or like snorting lines. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was blowing lines and dropping tabs, but you don't go to a party to do acid. You go to your friend's house and you go into the woods and you take acid and you go either sit in your basement and hide from your friend's parents, or you like go in the woods. That's how people in high school do acid. You know, whoever wrote that show never really did acid in high school. It like the people they just
dork.
It's probably, and that's what I'm saying. Is like that show is for dorks who've never done drugs, or like, you know, or who want to like see drugs. Like it pisses me off. The whole merry-go-round really fucking pissed me off because
that was
I was like,
so funny, dude. I loved that.
I thought it was funny, but it's not real at all, because no girl is just gonna like be like, I'm on Molly. Let me just grind the shit out of this.
In front of kids.
It's like it's not like you lose all control of your body.
You're at your town's carnival. Is the music that good? Is the vibe that right? Yeah. It's your town's carnival.
Also, Molly, you know what Molly does to you? It's literally Adderall. All Molly is. Molly just makes Molly all it is to give you energy, and you're just like,
yeah. Last time I did Molly, my buddy and I played 2K in my other buddy's room for like,
and you had a bunch of energy and you were having fun with it, right? You didn't feel like
I think we went out after, but I remember we did Molly and played 2K for like 2 hours at least.
And you don't feel like you lost control. Yeah, you don't lose
jizz all over the TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I was like dogging on it. I was like, oh, I literally was saying this. Like everyone in the class was like, I like it. I was like, yeah, I think if you like Euphoria, it's because you're a dork. I didn't say dork, but I was like, it's because you've never done drugs or you want to see what drugs are. Because that show sucks. And the whole class was quiet. And I just went on a tirade for 5 minutes. And then my professor goes and I was like, all right, I'm just going to take that as time to change the subject. It's like, didn't give anyone a rebuttal. I remember just everyone sitting there. I just said everything I said about it. I bet you like a bunch of people in that class was just like, I guess I'm done with that show. After
teachers hear Serial with a debate and they're like, they just let him win it. Like,
no, there's a lot of times where like I'll talk. Like I've had teachers say, this is like when someone new comes on, they're like, this is Ciro. He's a bit publicly outspoken. And like they'll like very nicely put that like I'm an asshole.
A bit retarded.
I think they just put nicely. They're like, he's kind of an asshole, and he says what he wants.
he's a major fucking cock.
Yeah,
but we can't talk about that to his face
because he'll just respond.
Prepare to argue.
Oh, dude, I told you the other day when that girl was like, or she was like, yeah, I'm not going to name my child or assign its gender for the first 8 years of its life.
That's a good point.
And I remember the girl said that, and I go, that is so stupid. And some other girl in the class goes, yeah, I really think that's so dumb. And we just dogged this girl in class. I was like, you just get called the child it. And then I remember my professor was just like, all right, guys, just change the subject. This is just like, and I was just like, and then I looked at the girl, hey, it, come here. And like that girl probably went home and cried.
Dude, it's crazy how stupid some of these college students are when they talk out loud in class. Like I really noticed this last semester when I was finishing my last semester up, so I was only in gen eds, and like I'm like with freshmen and sophomores, like 3 and 4 year old younger kids, and they're like
They're like,
they'll just like talk about like their relationship with their boyfriend, like just to the teacher, like at the start. Like it's just like they're just so. It's like at high school, like you're just so.
my
You're a
favorite
little too
was
comfortable with some of this personal stuff.
my favorite memory is fuck. I literally just had it. Oh, so we had a class. Okay, so I'm trying to remember what I was about to say. God damn it. I don't even remember. It was gonna come back to me, but basically my school is a bunch of libtards, and so my school, okay, I remember it now. I once was talking about normal people, and I was using the phrase normal people, and this girl goes, normal. She's like, what is normal to you? I was like, someone who, I didn't use the word retarded because I
Someone
try not
like
to.
you,
Yeah,
dumb
I wanted to say that. I didn't want to say someone not like you, but I was like, someone who has normal brain function. Someone who can, yeah, I literally looked at it. I was like, someone who has normal brain function, someone who has normal body functions. Okay. Someone who can live a normal life. That's a normal person. And she was just like, everyone's normal to me. And I looked at her, I was like, you know what? I don't think someone who has mental disabilities is normal. I don't think someone who's a serial killer is normal. I just like, would you call those people normal? And she goes, they're all different in their own special way. I was like, yes, because they're special. They're not normal. I remember my teacher was like, all right, let's just change it. Let's just change it.
Serious. No. Do not get him into this. No.
Or my favorite was like, some girl goes, that's just your opinion. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, that's the great thing about opinions. You're not right. I'm not right. You're not wrong. I'm not wrong. That's the great thing about opinions, baby. Nobody's right.
I'd love to be a bystander in one of your classes.
Oh, I'm an asshole. I just let it, and like half the time I'm like foreign. So people a lot of time I think they just think they're like, oh, he's just a foreign guy. Just like,
yeah,
like let him be. Like a lot, because like a lot, like let him have him. He's foreign. He doesn't understand it.
He's not accustomed to our culture. Jesus. But I don't even look at you as foreign, so I wonder what other people think. Like,
I don't
like, do you think when you're like, when people meet you, like your friends, your roommates, your girlfriend, do they
know
are
I'm
they
not
like
white. No, everyone when
they know
meet,
you're not white?
Yeah, everyone goes like, that's why my rap name's Little Foreign, Little.
Wow, that's surprising. Maybe you're a little different in real life, but
I mean, this lighting doesn't do me justice, but like, I mean, if you look at my hair, I have like brown people hair. Okay, it's just grown out, and like I don't know, I'm just so like when you meet me, you'll like notice like I'm a very light brown guy. Like here, let's pull up.
You're like a coffee ice cream flavor.
No, I'm gonna pull up a picture of my dad.
It's like really.
I get
light.
If I have where's my passport right here? You ready to see a picture?
Yeah.
This is how like tan I get. If you're ready to have.
Oh, you get tan?
Dude, I turn black.
Nice.
That's me.
Vivio Foreign. Wow, that does not even look like you.
Do you see how
that is pretty fucked up?
Yes, isn't that fucked
I still
up?
don't think you look brown in any way, shape, or form, but that does not. How long ago is that?
That's like 6 years ago.
It's troubling.
Yeah.
Your hair looks like brown and not curly, and
it's short right there, but
you look like 14. And...
yeah, I'm like 15 or 14 in that. I think I'm 16 maybe. But yeah, dude, I like when I say I turned brown, like people whenever I show that picture, I'm like, people must think I'm like literally whenever I hand that, especially like at TSA, because it's usually like a minority working there and I hand them my stuff, they're always like this. They're like,
what's your name?
Yeah. They're like, and most of the time they're like, you're a little pale. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I just haven't gotten any sun in a few months.
I Sammy Sosa did.
Well, that's the joke. Like me and my girlfriend talk about. Like I take like if you put me under the sun, I turn black. So we're joking that like once I start working for the TV in Florida, literally the first week I'm gonna look like this, and then I'm gonna come in the next day. like just like full on brown, you know? Like they're gonna be like, what happened to this guy over the weekend?
The weekend on the sun.
That's literally like if you put me in the sun for like 10 hours, I turn literally black. Like I'm super brown. Like if you let me find a picture of my dad, you're gonna look at him and you're gonna be like, this isn't real. I mean, my dad's like super dark. Let's see. A lot of the picture. All right, here's one. This is gonna geek you out.
50-01. Oh my god, I gotta buy Jake Rich tickets.
All right, here's one.
What the hell?
There's my dad in the middle. My dad's the guy in the middle. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the guy. Like that's to give you an idea of the fro my dad has. Let me see if
that's more like you should get to that fro.
I'll get that level.
Yeah, why not?
Let me see if I can find a different one. I'm like sweating pits and it's like so uncomfortable. Like incredibly uncomfortable. Like look at this. You ever sweat pits?
Yeah. But my basement's like cold.
I'm in my room. Yeah, right here. Look at this. This bastard's like full on. Like, and then we got, let's see if I can find the other one. He sends us pictures all the time.
It's a really good quality picture.
Here's another one. What is going on? Force quit.
No. Whoa,
that's not him. Right here. This is my dad. Him? This one's not him. I don't know what the fuck. I don't. It might be my dad, but like it doesn't look like
that's got to be your dad, dude.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I think that one might be my dad. This one is my dad right here. But
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you said he's older, right?
Yeah, my dad's like 67.
Yeah, he looks a little older.
To give you an idea, this is my grandfather. My grandfather's like clearly a brown guy. He's from Yugoslavia. Like, if I show you one of my friends from Egypt, you're going to be like, holy fuck, your grandpa and your friend from Egypt look exactly the same. And my dad, my dad like met. Like, here's to give you an idea. This is my dad when he was younger.
Younger?
Yeah, like this was when my dad was like 40.
Oh.
Or you want to geek out? 19 like 30s photo bomb.
Nice. Oh, whoa.
That's my grandfather.
Is that your dad?
That's my grandfather in
World War.
I don't know. This was them in World War II when they were fighting the Nazis.
Oh, nice.
What else? But like to give you an idea, I'm trying to find. My dad has like legit like the curliest hair, like curliest Jew hair in the world.
But, how Jewish is your dad?
Pretty fucking Jewish. My dad's uncle was my grandfather's cousin was the chief rabbi of Turkey. And then see my grandma, my nonna, she was from Italy. It's like my dad. Yeah. This was actually my dad's childhood home in like the 50s and the 60s. That's how it looks today.
Really nice home.
But this is a terrible picture, but look at this. This picture's like 10 years old, maybe 6 years old. But this is a terrible photo. But to get like how like my dad, this is my dad pale. My dad's pale right here.
Huh.
And like he's already like we're darker than my sisters.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So yeah. Little to give you an idea how brown I am.
Lesson.
Yeah.
On Cereal's origins.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything. That was a long episode today. I hope you didn't have to shit.
Dude, I don't know what happened with the last like two. There hasn't been like a recurring.
It was the coffee.
I think it was waking up a little bit later.
Oh, you just didn't line up your poops?
No, I usually don't, but it came back to bite me.
So. Really? You don't? I have a whole schedule for my
ideally,
shits.
Yeah. If I was in school, 100%. But
yeah, I have bathrooms I shit in.
What?
At school? There's certain
Oh, yeah.
bathrooms I dump in.
Yeah, you gotta know where to go.
Yeah. Like
It's
I
one of
don't.
the more important parts about college.
100%. If you're in college, you don't shit in any bathroom. There are certain bathrooms
Yeah.
across campus that you're aware of that you can shit peacefully because no one's gonna walk in.
Oh man, there was this bathroom by our library that was like so big, and it's just like no one ever went in. I never saw somebody in there.
Shout out KU, because we're so libtards, they created a third bathroom called a private inclusive gender bathroom, which means anybody can go in the bathroom and the door locks. So nice. So nice. Because I go in there and I just leave the stall door open. I shit with the stall door open and I just blow vape clouds in there. And sometimes if I have like a 30-minute break, I just sit in the bathroom, lock the door for 30 minutes, and I just post up in this private big ass bathroom and just make YouTube videos.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The furthest I ever did was just find a floor with an open room and a bathroom and make a video in the class.
Oh, dude. I mean, you've seen, I will literally be on campus walking to
that was like one of the first videos I saw.
I'll just be like, yeah, what's up, guys? Trade just happened.
I think you were at work or something, and you were like, I'm taking a break right now. This trade just went. It was like the off, or it was a trade deadline or something.
Yeah, trade deadline. Ben
like,
Simmons.
What are
Ben
you doing?
Simmons. Yeah, I was by a trash can because my boss showed up, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. Give me like 10 minutes. I went and ran outside and made a video. I was like, fuck work right now.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. All right, bud. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.